Most women are not trying to become better, they're trying to fix a version of themselves that was never broken. Hi, guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we celebrate our unique expression of perfection. Because God didn't make duplicates. In the moment you measure yourself against the world, you hand your power away. I'm Brooke Taylor, and today we're diving into something truly life changing. Today, we are going to talk about why you are perfectly you. Most women are not trying to become better, they're trying to fix a version of themselves that was never broken to begin with. And the reason this hits so deeply is because no one ever told you that. So, you've been living your life like this quiet project that always needs improvement, always refining, always readjusting, always asking, what do I need to change to finally feel whole? You look at your life and instead of seeing it clearly, you filter it through what it should be. Psychologically, this is what keeps you stuck because the brain is wired to chase what it believes is missing. So the more you believe something about you isn't enough, the more your mind will search for proof of that. That's why even when things are going right, you still feel off. Even when you're growing, you still feel behind. Even when you're doing everything right, there's this underlying feeling of something about me still isn't where it needs to be. So you keep chasing this version of perfection, thinking one day you'll arrive at it. But what you don't realize is this: that chase is the very thing disconnecting you from yourself. Perfection was never something you were supposed to become. It's something you're already living. Let me ask you something, and I want you to actually sit with it. Are you alive right now? Okay? And are you going to die one day? If the answer is yes, then you are currently living a perfect life. Not perfect in the way social media sold it to you, but perfect in design, perfect in timing, perfect in development, and perfect in how it's shaping you. Every experience you've had, even the ones you wish never happened, you can still look back on them right now and say, I needed that to become who I am today. That is not a coincidence. That's alignment. Life is not random. It is developmental. And what most women are doing is trying to interpret a process that is already working in their favor. You're trying to fix what is actually forming you. And the moment you realize that, your life will be changed forever. Because now you're not moving from lack, you're moving from awareness. Now you're not chasing perfection, you're recognizing it. And that's where your power actually begins. So let's dive into chapter 1, apples and oranges. We've all heard that saying before. So let's talk about the saying, you can't compare apples to oranges, because it's something we've all heard but rarely pause to truly understand what it means. It speaks to the tendency to compare things that were never meant to be measured against each other in the first place. Like apples and oranges, which differ in color, texture, flavor, and even in how they're meant to be experienced, making the comparison not just inaccurate, but completely meaningless. So when you really think about it, comparing them and deciding that one is better than the other sounds almost ridiculous. Yet this is exactly what we do to ourselves every single day. We take our path, our identity, our past, and even our future, and we measure it against someone else's, as if they were ever meant to be the same. And every time you do that, it's like biting into an orange without peeling it first. You're experiencing something the wrong way, focusing on the bitterness, the resistance, the parts that were never meant to be consumed like that. And because of that, you completely miss the sweetness that's actually there. So instead of nourishing you, it leaves you feeling unfulfilled, disconnected, and honestly a little empty. And over time, that pattern robs you of the richness of your own life, the parts that were designed to be uniquely yours. So my advice is simple but powerful. Stop comparing your apple to someone else's orange. Stop forcing your life into a standard it was never created to meet. And instead, start appreciating the exact flavor, texture, and beauty of your own life. Because the moment you do that is the moment everything begins to feel aligned. Chapter 2, Self-Love and Acceptance. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Brooke, I've heard this a million times before. Love yourself, accept yourself, and you're right. Self-love has become such a buzzword. But let's be honest, how many of us actually know how to actually achieve it? And not more so achieve, but actually operate in it. Most of us are stuck on this never ending roller coaster of highs and lows when it comes to self love. One day we feel empowered, posting affirmations and embracing ourselves, and next thing you know, we're criticizing everything about who we are. But you're in the right place, because today I'm giving you the real solution. Genuine self-love doesn't truly manifest until you see yourself as perfectly you. Let me break this down, because a lot of people say, I love myself, my flaws and all. And while that sounds really good, let's be real. Admitting to a flaw automatically introduces a but. And when you say, I love myself despite my flaws, it's like putting a subtle condition on your self-love. Like there's still something that needs to be fixed before you can fully accept yourself. But true self-love doesn't come with conditions, apologies, or disclaimers. It comes the moment you can stand in front of the mirror and sincerely say and mean that I am perfectly me. That statement is powerful because it's not surface level. It requires you to take full ownership of who you are, to face yourself fully, to really embrace every part of your identity, and to stand confidently in your truth without shrinking or editing yourself. And this kind of love is about taking complete ownership of who and where you are right now in this very moment, including the parts you're proud of and the parts you're not. Is saying, I am who I am, every piece of me matters. I am accountable for all that I am, and I embrace it fully. Now, let me clarify. This does not mean you are beyond growth, correction, or evolution. It does not mean you stop striving to become better. What it means is you stop punishing yourself for being human, because your perceived flaws, your mistakes, and your shortcomings, those are not things to erase or hide. They are the very things that make you, well, perfectly you. Chapter 3, Reframing Flaws as Your Perfection. Think about it like this. If you removed every flaw from your life, you will also remove the lessons, the growth, and the beauty that comes from overcoming challenges. Because what you see as a flaw may actually be the very thing that makes you relatable, resilient, and uniquely you. And your imperfections are not separate from your strengths, but essential to them, completing the full picture of who you are. So instead of saying, I love myself despite my flaws, shift it to, I love myself for everything that makes me who I am. My strengths, my challenges, my quirks, and the journey that has shaped me. Because when you fully accept yourself in this way, everything changes. You stop seeking validation outside of yourself. You'll stop measuring your worth against impossible standards, and you begin to exist as you are, fully, confidently, and unapologetically. And this is the foundation of true self-love. So here's your challenge today. I want you to stand in front of the mirror whenever you take a shower or you brush your teeth, and I want you to say that I am perfectly me, no buts, no excuses, no disclaimers, and say it until it feels real, because self-love is not about becoming perfect in the way that the world defines it. It is about recognizing and embracing the perfection that has been within you all along. Chapter 4, Looking through the lens of your perfection. Have you ever stopped to consider what life would feel like if you looked at it through the lens of your own perfection? The moment you adopt this mindset, something extraordinary happens. There is a profound shift in perception where you stop viewing life from a place of lack or limitation, and instead begin to see it through the eyes of wholeness and abundance. And what this truly means is recognizing that every experience, every moment, and every choice you have made has contributed to the beautiful masterpiece that is you. And this is so close to my heart because it is something I live by and I teach through my Perfection Collection brand. dedicated to helping people embrace their innate perfection, because I have seen firsthand how deeply transformative this perspective can be. And it is not about pretending everything is always great, because trust me, the past 2 years of my life have not been great, but about knowing that even in what we call imperfections, even in your struggles, you are already whole. And when you begin to look at your life through this lens of your own perfection, it stops becoming about fixing what is wrong and starts becoming about celebrating what is already right. Chapter 5, The Perfection of Life. Here's a bold statement for you. I can guarantee you 3 things in life: life itself, death, and the perfection of life. And to really understand that, we have to start with the word perfect, which means having all the required or desired elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as it is possible to be. Something that is absolute, complete, and whole. Every single one of us was born perfect. We entered this world already equipped with everything essential for our survival. But at some point, someone, somewhere, told us that we weren't perfect, and we believed them. So we started chasing perfection as if it existed outside of us, as if it was something we had to earn or achieve, when in reality, perfection isn't something you find, it's something you already are. And the real problem is that most of us never take the time to actually peel back the layers of our own existence, because we get so consumed with the external, what society says and what people expect, that we completely miss the depth of who we are. It's like biting into an orange without peeling it. You end up tasting the bitterness of the outside while completely missing the sweetness within. But what happens if you actually pause, if you peel back those layers and finally see yourself clearly? You begin to realize that you were never lacking. You were never incomplete. You were always whole. And when you truly embrace the perfection of your life, you start to understand that even the hard moments, even the struggles, the heartbreaks, the mistakes are not flaws in your stories. They are the brushstrokes that actually create it. Life was never about being flawless, as what we call it, or what we perceive as flawless. It was always about being real, being present, and recognizing that everything happening around you and within you is part of a perfect design. So the next time you find yourself doubting your worth or questioning your path, remember, you are whole, you are complete, you are perfectly you. I hope that this video resonated with you as much as it resonated with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, stay perfectly you.